cool. Was that a fart? Nice.
It's the Pooter. The Pooter.com. The original U.S. made.
Really? I've never seen that before.
Well, now you can go to Pooter.com, and I am not endorsed in any way, shape, or form, but holy smokes, these things are fun.
Oh, that's amazing. I've only ever seen, whoopee cushions and, that kind of thing. Or soundboards.
I think Leslie Nielsen has, there's an interview of him where he's got one in his pocket and he's just going nuts.
Oh, right. He's like, I'm sorry. Oops. I've seen that interview.
Yeah. The thing is, it takes a little bit of skill to pull it off. It's not just, I can make a fart noise. It's kind of an instrument. And I had to modify mine there. Got a little split on it.
That's amazing. I need to get one of those.
I mean, considering you're in the comedy scene, I would think that, no, you don't need one of these because this is just the basest, stupidest jokes ever. You need to be a little more clever than whipping out a little pooter.
Hey, but look, here's the thing. A good fart joke will always be funny. You know
You're right.
what I mean?
You're right. I'll give it to you because everybody farts. And
a perfectly timed fart. A perfectly timed fart.
It stinks.
That's true. You gotta keep it, healthy. Keep your bowels clean so they don't smell as bad.
So we're on tour. I guess we could just jump into this thing. You're gonna
go for it.
This anyway.
Yeah.
We were in Nashville a few days ago. My wife came down. We had a day off and then the show in Nashville. We went out to Broadway. Take in Nashville, all the good times, all the honky tonks, and we were in a bar watching a band play, and all of a sudden, I look at my wife. She looks at me. She's like, "That's not you, is this?" Like, hell no. We look at our friends who are on the other side of the table, like with a crazy face, and they look at us like, "What?" Oh, I think the woman standing in front of us just ripped the most foul fart. Ooh. She played it off really well, though. I don't think it wasn't her first time.
Did she? Oh, did she look around at all, like to pretend it was?
No, that's what I'm saying. She played it off like no.
That's usually my move.
It had to have been her, just because location, like you could triangulate the smell, and there was one butt right there that was coming at him. I don't want to get hateful or anything, but let me just say that her diet, she doesn't eat healthy, and I could tell that just with my eyes.
You can smell the cheeseburgers.
Well, I could tell before the smell that her diet was not. Yeah. I'm being kind of an asshole when I say that. So
no, it's fine. I'm a chunky boy, and I know I'm chunky. I know why I'm chunky. I eat crappy sometimes, not all the time. I cook, but
I would be much chunkier if I didn't have my amazing wife in my life to help guide me in eating well, and then yeah.
Are you vegan?
I'm vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Okay, cool.
But it's a blurry line. I've got leather shoes and a leather belt. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you got to be rock and roll too, right? Got to have a little bit of rock and roll.
Oh man, I'm just me. Apparently, hopefully that is enough rock and roll.
But I will say this: vegetarians have some stinky farts, man. Broccoli and Brussels sprouts.
You don't eat broccoli or Brussels sprouts?
Oh, I do.
Okay, then why aren't your farts stink? Why is it vegetarian?
Oh, they stink to high heaven. That's my wife.
Yeah. I got you. God, I'm getting warmed up for. So today, I don't know if this is going to fuck up your continuity or whatever, but we're filming on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes.
We happen to be in Kansas City with a day off. And there's going to be a little gathering in one of the ballrooms downstairs of the touring parties. I'm so bringing this motherfucker.
I was going to ask you what your plans were, because it is Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm not much of a football fan, but I always tune in for the Super Bowl because it's just it's one of those things. It's a worldwide event. Everybody watches the Super Bowl.
Wait a minute. Okay. Hold on. So you're more of a fan than I am, because I don't even give a fuck about the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
And it's a worldwide. I mean, I guess America has won every Super Bowl world championship over the last 60. I'm laughing because you call it the world over, but nobody gives a fuck. I mean, some people do, but nobody gives a fuck about American football outside of this ridiculous country.
That's true.
It's real football. It's real football they care about.
Well, honestly, I think they tune in mostly for the trailers, the commercials, all the fun advertising that they do, where they pay millions of dollars to just mix.
How far we have sunk as a society.
I know. Where we're excited about advertising.
Well, there are clever people. There are clever people doing this, and they're using their talents to do so, and it is entertaining. But they're doing the devil's work there, my man.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I'm going to give you an intro anyway, even though I'm going to keep everything beforehand because I mean, how do we not start a podcast with farts? That's how
Well, here's a secret. They weren't all fake.
Oh
no, yeah, they were.
Hey, you're by yourself in that room, I think, right?
Honest truth, I'm not.
Okay, all right.
I've got my text here because their room's not ready yet, but he's he's my brother.
He's off in a corner farting himself, so that's fine.
Lois, you over there farting? Yeah, he's wafting his brand up to himself. He's a classy farter.
Well, anyway, welcome to the RRBG podcast, everyone. I am being joined today by the homie John Campbell of Lamb of God.
What up?
How are you feeling right now being on tour with Pantera? That's got to be a weird feeling.
I wouldn't call it weird. This is a dream gig, man.
Yeah. I mean, weird and like surreal, I guess. That's more of what I mean.
Well, yeah, but our career has been all surreal moments because we're a silly punk rock band that plays metal and got up to this. Like we touring with Metallica, Slayer, all these bands. It's like, holy shit! Like, really? I remember the first time I met Tom and Dave Lombardo. Like, I'm not normally starstruck by people, and like I grew up listening to punk rock. I didn't really give a crap about heavy metal, but those dudes walk in and their personality, I'd be like, completely starstruck. I'd also start,
I know.
So I was, I gotta go. I'm comfortable.
I've been actually, to be honest, slowing down on that just because of that same exact thing. I don't like the weird panic I get in certain situations where like, oh no, like even when I met you guys at the store, it was one of those moments. Like I was just back every day. When I was there, I'd just be back there smoking, and then you guys walk. I'm like, oh shit, let me focus up a little bit, just to not, make a fool out of myself.
If I can dive into that situation.
Yeah,
I'm a normal dude that same shit goes through my head, just like every other motherfucker that's not some insane narcissist who's got their own reel playing. So there are definitely some celebrities on that line, but we're the same, man. Especially
in that back room where we met, that back area.
Yeah, oh my God. And I was totally losing my shit there because that's not our world, but you guys red carpeted us up to the cool spot, and holy shit, we get to hang out like for real. That was great, man. Thank you very much for you and all your homies getting us, bringing us in there. That's Frank Castillo forever.
Frank Castillo, shout out to the homie, man. He's always been very welcoming, and he and I become closer over the years. I didn't know how much metal he was into. I just started learning.
He's not into metal. He's not really into metal.
A little here and there.
He might be. After the Headbangers vote, he might be a little bit more into it.
Yeah, that's right. He did that. You guys have that. You have another one coming up, right?
We do. Hopefully, this is going to be happening every year.
Nice. Whose idea was that to have a cruise?
We've been talking about it for a while after we'd done it a few times. I can't tell you who exactly it was, but it's a great freaking idea.
Yeah, I mean, you get to completely disconnect, just be out in the sea and enjoy metal and get, if you're into that, get wasted and...
It's a floating festival where there's just all kinds of like-minded people. I know a lot of people go out there and make friends with people. The vibe on the boat was incredible, man. Just even getting off afterwards, it was still kind of felt like all glowy from the amazing time that cruise was.
Oh yeah, the new one looks really good. It's got you guys, obviously, Death Clock, Chimera, Poison the Well. Those are my homies. That's my Miami boys. I've said it before. As Jeff, the singer, is one of the handful of dudes I've ever rolled around jiu-jitsu with in my whole life. So
is that code for something?
Yes, gay sex.
Okay, very cool. You do jiu-jitsu still?
I haven't done it in a while because I have so many injuries, dude.
Oh, you're fucking terrible, man.
When I turned 40, everything started hurting that I didn't know. Like my shoulder now hurts, and now my left knee hurts. I'm like, damn it! These are all those injuries from the years that I was like, I'll just power through it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Beating the shit out of yourself in your 20s.
Yeah, man. So, do you feel any of those? I mean, you're a little bit older than I am. So
how old are you now? You're 40?
I'm 42.
Okay, I'm only 42.
Yeah.
Okay. That came out terrible. I was gonna say 43, but I'm older. No, I'm 50 wonderful. I'll be 52 later this year. I
Nice.
feel
Okay.
fan freaking tastic, to be honest with you.
That's good.
The
No
worst thing
neck,
about
no
getting
neck pains from the headbanging.
um you get a little bit of a bang over at the beginning of the tour, but you know, it all falls into place. The worst
Okay.
part about getting old for me is like not being able to fucking see here and just feeling like an old guy with big text on your phone. But whatever, that's the worst part. Everything else is fantastic because you know, I've been alive 51 years now. When you're in your 20s, you have, I mean, I don't know what's coming from here, but in your 20s, like, what the fuck's gonna happen? I don't know what I'm doing. So I've kind of gotten through that, and I kind of know what's happening and what I'm doing,
Hell
which
yeah.
is priceless.
That's great. That's great to have, man, because I know a lot of people, that feeling you're talking about in the 20s of like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Or
Some
even
people
the
get that.
30s.
Some people get that later, where they're like, I've been doing this, but I still don't know what I'm doing, and like, what's going
Sure, sure,
on,
sure, sure.
and I'm getting close to the end. Like, what's happening? You know,
Yeah.
I've had brief, like, I had that during the pandemic. During the pandemic, when we were locked up, I was like, oh no, I didn't. This is it. It's
I'm a
over.
communicator. What are you doing to me?
I can't. Yeah, that's another thing I express to people sometimes. I'm afraid of that, of getting a cold or a flu, and people are like, come on, it's just the flu, it's just this, and I'm like, yeah, but it's the equivalent of, like, let's say you breaking your hand. You can't play
Right,
bass.
right, right, right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
If I can't talk, if I'm congested and I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you
It's
mean.
it's wild. It's wild. Now, speaking of getting older, and 20 years of Ashes of the Wake tour is coming. I mean, you guys are touring nonstop. It's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, well, we don't tour as often as you think we do, I think. But we tour a lot. We tour a lot. I mean, it's our job,
Yeah.
and it's great. I love it. It's the greatest job I'll ever have. But yeah, we do tour a lot. But we do have this tour coming up. They're trying to segue into with Mastodon, where we're celebrating 20 years of both of our records. Like, I think they came out like a day apart.
That's wild.
It's
It's a good
amazing.
year. It's a good year for music, huh?
Yeah, yeah. We've been great friends for many years. We recorded. I guess it was New American Gospel recorded in Clinton, Massachusetts, and Braun was in Today Is the Day at that point, and he was living in the studio that we were recording in and living in, which is basically a one big room and a control room. And in the middle of our sessions, Bill came down from New York to try out for Today Is the Day. Sorry, and that's he came. We had to stop our sessions so that they could have a band rehearsal to see if he was going to be cool to be the guitar player. And maybe he was playing bass. I don't even fucking remember. It's been a long time, but yeah, we met those guys. This is back when did New American Gospel come out? More than 20 years ago.
More than 20. Yeah, 23 maybe, 24. I don't remember.
Jesus Christ.
It's a long time.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that much time has passed. It don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've known those dudes forever, and to be able to do this tour together is a dream come true. We've toured together in the past. It's been a while. It's going to be amazing just to be able to hang out with the bros all day. And then I have a feeling that people are going to be losing their fucking minds for these two records. And I don't know if you noticed, but Kerry King's band is going to be with us.
That's going to be an exciting. It's his first tour, right? With
I
just,
believe
just
so. I
that
think they're
thing.
playing some shows beforehand, but this will be like their first tour. That's going to be so fucking cool.
That's a sick lineup. I mean, I can't imagine the feeling you must get just knowing that you're going to be playing all these songs that are 20 years old and that people are still rocking out to it. And, you know, arguably you guys are bigger than you've ever been. I mean, the last time I saw you guys here in California, giant freaking setup, giant production.
YouTube theater, right?
Fire and the whole thing. Like, you know, you're up there.
Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, there are bigger, there are smaller. I can't complain. It was great.
Does it feel? What kind of feelings are you getting with playing these older songs? Like, are you relearning them?
You're really pushing this point. I don't know if I should be honest or not, but I'll go.
Please be honest. Be honest.
Back in the day, we used to write songs and make parts purposefully complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was a little kind of dueling between the guitar players writing riffs. Like, oh, you wrote that riff that was kind of hard for me to play, but I figured it out. Why don't you write this one or check this one out? And here I am in the middle, fucking playing bass with these fat ass strings. You motherfuckers! So the second half of that record is difficult to play. I mean, a lot of parts of that record are difficult to play, but the first half we've been hitting those songs forever. The
Yeah.
second half we haven't done, except we've done them twice. We did a live stream during the pandemic, and then we did it on the boat. Holy shit! At least one of those songs I fucking hate to play.
Okay. Well, which one? Which one do you hate?
Yeah. And I'm blanking on it. It's the instrumental.
Okay.
So, Jesus fucking Christ. It's a memory in exercise, or it's an exercise in memory.
For sure. And if you're not playing it all the time, like it's not part of your regular lineup of set lists, like
oh yeah. When we
lost.
decided to do it on the boat, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, let me go practice. And I spent I would be rehearsing that stuff all the time.
That's such a funny point you bring up about that competing to see who can write a more complicated. Like, a lot of bands do that. My old band used to do that. You know, I was in a band for 10 years, and it would basically every song we were like, all right, let's write a new song. It was like, let's see how we can make it more complex than the last one. How do we get
this weird little tag is going to happen once in the song, but you got to remember, you got to learn this weird little tag, and it's just going to happen like right there, and then you'll never hear it again.
Yeah, I don't know what is that? I mean, it's. I think it's part of trying to impress your
player
peers.
Ego. What?
Oh yeah, guitar player.
Did you say guitar player ego? Dude, settle down. Give them a break. They're fragile.
Yeah, right.
No, I take that back. The dudes in my band are not friends.
No,
they're yeah.
Well, but it is kind of a little bit of ego, but a little bit of showing off, a little bit of like trying to impress your peers. You know, like let's see, like my band we were known to just be like the musician band. Like we didn't have fans. It was more all the other bands were watching us play because we were doing stuff to trick people.
Right.
So, like,
you were everybody's favorite band's favorite band.
Right. And like my wife hated that. She was like, "Why do you guys do that? It sounds like you're fucking up." I'm like, but we're not.
Well, look at all these dudes that give us respect.
Yeah, they're up there going like this.
Dude, there were 20 people at the show last night. We sold 4 T-shirts. Woman.
Oh my God! How much involvement do you have now? Because I feel like the Lamb of God it's a machine now. You guys are so big that I'm sure you have a large crew. Like Slipknot has like 150 people or something like that. Like, where are you guys in terms of crew?
Very, very trimmed down. You get the best, and you don't need the rest. I mean, we have on stage 1, 2, 3, the 4 including monitor, and then there'll be a systems tech. So there's and then a production manager. Those dudes are running around on stage, and then outside of that, there's a tour manager, and then tour manager assistant, and a merch guy. So we're like 10 people.
That's not too bad. That's reasonable for a big theater
for a band of our
arena.
Size, yeah.
So
and thankfully, like we have a reputation, and our crew helps to push us along because they're the same. That we're really nice people, and we're here to work hard and get shit done and be part of the team and make the show happen. And that has served us really well. And for instance, on this Pantera tour now, like their crew's the same. So it's amazing because everything works seamlessly. Nobody's being a dick. Everybody's cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of changed after the pandemic. I think more people are being nicer because they're appreciative. Like, I'm so glad to be back on the road.
Back to my room, please.
Yeah. I don't want to be live streaming myself.
Oh my
Zoom.
God, that was so fucking terrible. God, it sucked.
Oh my God,
playing a show trying to bring intensity without a crowd.
How about comedy? People did Zoom comedies, like specials.
Yeah, I guess that's probably even worse because
you don't even hear live laughter.
Yeah.
There were so many. It's hard to figure out what was worse: music without a crowd, comedy without a crowd, or pro wrestling without a crowd. All of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was all
we
pretty.
Should maybe do a live stream of all 3.
No, thank you. So, okay, what does a day on the road look like for you now? Now, in 2024, after all these years, you've gotten all this experience. You've been on the road forever. Like, what do you do what's your ritual on a show day?
Well, things are much more settled down at this point. It used to be sleeping off hangovers and crawling out of bed to figure out what's happening. Now I do take the luxury of sleeping in a little bit, which at home I don't, but I'm working nights. Oh, I'm not about to raise my hand. What are you talking about? So yeah, I get to sleep in a little bit. I wake up, just grab my stuff, make a cup of coffee, walk into the venue, figure out where the dressing rooms are, kind of peek and see what's going on with the stage. If I have to do any press or any of those sorts of things, I've got time to take care of that, catch up with my family. We do a sound check, just go up and play a couple songs, make sure everything sounds great. And then go generally try and squeeze out since I slept so late, squeeze out like an hour-long nap. and then wake up, eat dinner, and then start prepping for the show.
I thought you were going to say squeeze out another fart.
No. I saved those for you.
Oh, okay.
That was a terrible one. It's got to get warmed up.
There it is.
There you go. And then play the show and then come off, clean up, pack shit up, and then have a couple beers, bullshit with some people, and go to bed.
Do you don't get out much? Do you want to go see cities? I mean, have you seen everything already, basically?
It depends on where we are and what the day is. We were in Memphis yesterday. It rained all day, so I didn't really do much. I could have gone out, I guess, but in Nashville, I went out, had my wife there. We checked out the town. Okay, like on a show day, I don't want to get up and be a tourist all day long. And maybe I could probably handle it, but I'm getting on stage is my focus on that day, and everything I do is focus on that. So I don't want to go wear myself out walking all over a city and running around town and then having to hurry back to make sure I'm there in time. And so
it's not like you haven't done it already. You've been through a lot of cities.
And again, it depends on where we are. We the first time we played in Athens, we had we landed and the guy's like, "Hey, if you want to see the Parthenon, we got to go now." I'm exhausted. And I'm like, I'm going to the fucking Parthenon.
Yeah.
So yeah, occasionally stuff like that. Now every time I'm in Athens, I'm going to the Parthenon. It's super cool.
Is there a venue left that you haven't played that you want? That's like a dream venue, let's say Red Rocks or something something in Europe, like a castle.
Well, we played Wembley Arena. Ooh. I wouldn't mind playing Wembley Stadium, but that's going to be, I don't know how that's all going to come together.
I mean, there's pro wrestling happening at Wembley Stadium. Maybe you guys can open up the show with a national anthem or something.
Well, if Metallica ever comes calling again, and they book a show there, maybe.
That'd be cool. I mean, do you feel that Lamb of God could get to stadium level? I mean, I think so at this point.
I don't want to sound negative. I don't think so, but I never thought we'd get here. I mean, we're playing arenas.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, stadium's the next step, right? There's nothing after arena except for stadiums.
Yeah, but not everybody keeps walking up,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not pressed about it.
No, I mean you're appreciative of what you have, obviously.
Being there was never expected. Yes, I mean everything is icing at this point because it was already amazing. We could get together in a rehearsal space, write these cool ass songs, and go play a party, and people be like, "Holy shit, you guys are great!" Yeah, that's right. And everything blew up from there. So I'm happy with what we've achieved. If there's something more that we're going to push forward, I'm there.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much longer do you see yourself doing this? Are you going to go the Keith Richards route and just go into your 70s and 80s, or how much longer do you want this?
I don't think I've pickled myself well enough to be Keith Richards. But
not enough cigarettes.
If we could squeeze out another 10 years, I'd be ecstatic. But okay. That would make me 61 going on 62. And I already look that age. How fucking rough am I going to look in 10 years?
I applaud you for going full white, Gandalf beard style because, I mean, a lot of, especially rock bands, but these are the divas, but, they'll just ferment it up, they'll color it in, make sure you have the thick line. I know you're not that. I know your facial hair is not that dark.
It doesn't take long for the roots to start showing. I mean, it's really laziness. That's why the beard is. I don't have to shave. The long hair, I don't have to get my hair cut. Nice. And genetics, it turned white.
Hey, I mean, I'm starting to get there. I'm getting a lot of whites everywhere, but I don't think I'd ever. I don't have that. I guess vanity in me to just let me color it in a little bit.
Yeah. It's great though in my job where everyone wears black. it's dark and all this stuff, and then the lights hitting. And I've got this light colored stuff here swinging around and catches the lights.
Yeah, there you go. That's part. You're doing it on purpose for production.
Oh, it's not on purpose. It's a happy little accident. But it's the way the universe meant for shit to happen. So there it is.
That's true. That's true. I saw that you guys did a collab recently, not too long ago, with Health, which is a little outside of the box for metal. I mean, Health teeters in that line of some heaviness, but is there any like outside of the box collabs that you would want to do, that something that people would be like, what the fuck? But it ends up being cool, you know, like how did that
Well, I'll let you know a little secret of something that didn't happen that will never be released. That Willie makes music all the time, whether it's metal or whatever. He's got a cool little setup at his house. I wouldn't even call it little. And he remixed one of our songs to have like, it was a beat. It was not heavy metal, but little elements of metal. And we got a very famous rapper to lay some bars on it.
No way.
And now I've got that sitting in my Dropbox, and every now and again I'll bust it out on people like, what?
No way.
It's cool as shit. It just didn't work out with the timing of what they had going on. And this was back when the monuments were coming down in Richmond. And so it kind of touches on that. So like it wouldn't necessarily be timely at this point. Maybe one day in a bonus track when like we're all old and dead, they'll put it up.
They do, like, I mean, like the Deftones have done, they release albums with just B-sides and things that never really saw the light of day. There you go, you know?
Yeah. We'll see.
That's interesting. Who can you say the rapper now?
I don't know if I should. I probably shouldn't.
Tell me after. All right. That's interesting, though. I would like to hear something like that. And so is there anything else like that where you would want to collaborate with someone like
I would love to collaborate with anyone and everyone from we're on tour with Pantera, and some housecore bands are coming out. There's this band Child Bite. That'd be fun as shit to do something with them. I wouldn't mind. We did that. We did a Megadeth cover. That was pretty cool with old Dave. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not actively seeking anything out like that, but I'm down for everything.
That's cool. If you were to start another band at this age that wasn't metal, what would that maybe sound like? It
would be nasty rock and roll.
Nasty rock and roll? What do you mean by nasty? Like G.G. Allen?
No. So I have friends in Richmond. They had this amazing band called RRBG. And in 2008, we took the year off, and they needed a bass player. So I played in the band for a little bit.
Nice.
So fun. RPG can be found probably on YouTube. They're no longer around, but it's just real simple, punch in the face rock and roll with some clever lyrics.
Okay, I like that. I've always wanted to do something like dirty, you know, deserty, kind of like the Queens of Stone Age, but heavier.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Those guys are fucking high art. They're a great fucking band. They're a genre of themselves. If anybody tried to sound like them, you would immediately like, who is this Queens of the Stone Age ripoff?
That's when you know you've got something. When you hear another band, you're like, that sounds like another band. Like,
yeah.
Well, then maybe you should change your sound a little bit.
Some bands pull it off a little bit. There's what's that fucking Black Mountain, Canadian kind of psychedelic rock band.
Yeah,
they rip off Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin like nobody's business.
Well, I mean, there's a whole genre of that. There's what they call Sabbath worship.
Oh, I didn't know that. Look at me.
There's a whole like 80 bands that sound like Sabbath that just play together at like pot festivals, you know.
Well, look at me trying to flex my musical knowledge to dude living in LA with his feet up in it.
Oh no! It's dude. I'm actually might be joining you in Richmond.
To live?
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow, you get somebody pregnant?
No. But my wife and I want to buy a house, and LA is just, you know, that's impossible.
Well, if you're coming to Richmond with LA money, you'll be doing well. But the prices there have just been going fucking stupid as well.
It's wild, man. Let's
not talk about fucking home prices on the fucking podcast. No, you can see the people tuning out.
But I do want to go to Richmond. I really enjoyed the time I've been there. Dave Whitty was very hospitable.
Dave Whitty's an amazing human.
Yeah. He barely knew him, and he invited me into his home, and I got to hang out there and meet all his friends, and Mekong is great out there, and it felt really nice. So when the conversation happened of like, where would we go next after LA, I was like, maybe we could go to Richmond. That would be a cool spot.
It's worth looking into.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have this thing in Richmond though. It's called Don't Nova My RVA. Nova is Northern Virginia, and RVA is Richmond, Virginia. Nova is the DC suburbs, and it's just thick with fucking parking lots, Starbucks, people in cars. It's terrible. And it's kind of starting to happen in Richmond because people from Northern Virginia are like, oh, fuck, Richmond's cheap, and it's only 100 miles south.
Yeah.
So they're coming down here, and yeah. But
again, ruining
it. Fuck to talk about in a podcast.
They're ruining it. No,
motherfuckers.
They kind of ruined Asheville for me. That was actually my first destination in my mind, was like Asheville, North Carolina. But then it got like, I think Sierra Nevada moved in there and just completely changed the game out there. I don't know. I'll stick to Richmond at this point.
Do people comment during the podcast? Like, can you put a little poll up there? Like, where should you move?
Oh yeah. Yes, please, in the comments, pick Asheville or Richmond for me. Let's figure that out.
Or have a third option.
Yeah, give me a third option. Where should I go? I think, look, here's the thing.
Fucking hell.
LA's great. I've been, I know a lot of people talk shit about it, but the opportunities here are wild between the music world, the comedy world, and things are growing and everything. But I feel also like if I could start something new at a place like a Richmond, like I could start a cool comedy scene out there.
Absolutely. It's burgeoning, if I even said that word right. There's a couple clubs and occasionally people will come through. But it could definitely use some authentic, not the what's the comedy club in Richmond called? It's out of the strip, not a strip mall, but it's out of the mall. Yeah.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I saw Brian Simpson there, and shit, I'm fucking blanking on her name. She was hilarious, but her handle on Instagram is Places I Took a Shit. Fuck, what is her name?
I don't know. I know that was an app. I didn't know there was a comedian going by that.
There's an app for that?
I'm
gonna pull up her name.
Yeah, there's an app where you can log everywhere you shit around the country. You check in your poops.
Places I took a shit this year. Oh, Logan Gunselman.
Oh,
maybe you don't know her. Maybe you're not you son of a bitch.
Dude, there's so many.
What about Quinn Dale? You seen Quinn Dale?
No.
That dude's hilarious. Okay. Fucking hilarious. I think he's kind of an outlier though, because I think he may, although he doesn't really push it in his comedy, he may be a little more conservative than most of you hippie comedians. So he may not fit into the mold that y'all throw out there.
He can go to Austin. He can go do comedy in Austin. He'll be fine.
I mean, he's fucking hilarious regardless. Yeah. This shit is hilarious.
So, okay, outside of them, and obviously Frank Castillo, what are some of your favorite comedians that are in the scene right now? Like some of the bigger names.
In the scene right now? Well, Steve Fury. He's good.
Fury's the band. Yeah.
Who else am I following on? There's a Brittany Brava, I think I follow on Instagram. She's based out of Miami, I think. I can't say her name, and I apologize. I believe she's an Indian woman, Subhaba or something like that. Shit. Now I feel like a dickhead. I follow a lot of people on Instagram just because it's perfect for the short attention span, somebody getting some jokes out. And it's a great medium for comedians to get their shit out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I follow a lot of people that at this point I don't even really know their names.
Yeah,
I mean, that funny motherfucker that's got the goofy ass mustache.
Yeah, there's a lot of crowd work going on Instagram now. I feel like that's kind of becoming like the norm.
And I'm sure comedians fucking hate it because now this is okay. I got to fucking grind this out.
Yeah, now people are like, oh, I guess if I want views, I need to start doing crowd work.
But that's just kind of how the scene is working now. So now back in the day when you were a band trying to hit it, you'd have to send in demo tapes and this, that, and the other. But now they want to go see where you're at in social media and all that shit. Yeah, this is the game changed.
The game changed.
So we're still here playing it.
Hey, and the game it changed, but I would argue that it got easier. The fact that I've been able to do what I've been doing says.
Oh yeah, without a lick of talent. Yeah, that's
no impressive. Talent whatsoever.
I think it's become easier but more difficult because now there's just a sea of people to get through.
Yeah, and now you have to really shine. You have to really
shine in one moment. And even if you're a fucking terrible comedian, you just have like some heckler that rushes you and you knock them out. You're all of a sudden popular and famous because, oh yeah, that guy's great.
Yeah.
And maybe not that great.
Yeah, like Bert Kreischer. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, yeah, I could take my shirt off too, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see these fucking pepperoni nipples.
Hey, I'm a Florida boy too. You know, like I was born in Jersey, but I grew up in Florida, so I'm a drunk Florida boy as well. I could be the next Bert Kreischer.
Right
why not? What's your Mount Rushmore of bass players?
Oh God. I mean, of course, Cliff Burton.
Of course.
Billy Gould, is that his name? The guy from Faith No More, and that dude's a fucking beast.
Yes.
What's the guy from Duran Duran's name? That guy's insanely great.
Really?
And then the bass player from Foxy, I think Carlos Gunn. That dude. The looks, the licks, fucking amazing.
Okay.
I never wore a wig. All those years, it was never a wig.
Really?
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who Foxy is. I've never heard Foxy.
Yeah. They're an old 80s glam band from Kansas City, I think.
Okay.
Might have been my text band back in the day.
Ah.
Reminder, he's sitting right over there.
Ah.
Fucking with him a little bit. And he is a bass player, and he's a great bass player.
There you go.
Oh,
Giving him
Rex.
props.
Holy shit. On this tour, to be able to watch Rex play.
That's wild.
That dude's, he's great. It's just his touch, his feel on it is just absolute natural.
Do you feel like you're still learning from, even at this point in your career, you're still learning from people like him?
Absolutely, but it's not like learning the playing. It's like, okay, I see your vibe up on stage. I see how you're rolling. Yeah, I mean, that's been the whole thing the whole time. You play with bands and you see how it's working for them and adjust and figure it out. Because again, we never meant to do this. We're just some drunken idiots from Richmond, Virginia that everybody's in a band in Richmond, and our band just happened to hit.
Yeah. There's a lot of bands in Richmond. You don't really think about that. I bring that up to a lot of people when I mention the fact that I want to move to Richmond. They're like, "Why Richmond?" I'm like, "Well, there's a lot of music there. Guar's there, Municipal Waste, you guys. There's a lot of bands from Richmond that are
and have been for years. Like there's a rich music scene here.
Yeah,
there.
I love it.
I'm not home. God damn
it. Okay. All right. So, where do you see the next 5 years for you in terms of writing a new album? Like how soon do you think you guys are
it's almost like a job interview. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Sir? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Please give me your 30, 60, 90.
We're going to put out some records. We on the same rough schedule that we always do. We put out a record, tore the shit out of it, take a little time back, start working on another one, record it, tore the shit out of it. So yeah, there's definitely, we are still alive and kicking, and there will be more records.
Is it like
in the next 5 years? In the next 5 years, there will definitely be a new Lamb of God record. I don't think I'm giving away any secrets with that.
Talk to your PR people. No, I'm just kidding. But is it going to be like Omens, where you guys, I know that for that album, you guys got together and recorded it live almost all together.
Who knows? I would love to. I'd love to go back to Henson Studios and do it too, because that place was badass. But we'll see. Was
there a significant difference for you in the writing of being in the room? Because to me, it's always been that should be the way. You guys should be in a room together, connecting.
Right. Well, we do that in the writing and the pre-production already, and then we would go to the studio and go to our own corners and create. We take the demos, the tracks that we had recorded, and then we would just make them right and make them perfect. But this time, instead of doing it that way, we went in to get it's mostly the drum tracks that are live to get the vibe of like the drummer playing with us rather than him sitting there. Yeah, on stage we don't use clicks.
Really?
We did years ago, but there's no. Because the music can breathe without clicks. You can feel the moment and you're connected. Yeah. And it's about that connection on stage and then bringing that out and emoting that direction and then getting it back. And I thought it was a really good move, and I hope we do more stuff like that. But who's to say?
Yeah. I mean, for me as a fan, I prefer no click. Even some bands that they started with no click and then started using it. You can tell like some of the songs feel slower than I'm used to hearing it live, because they're going by the click now from the, the BPMs on the track, and it just sounds slower. I like the energy. Like if you're feeling it, then you're feeling it. Maybe the song is played a little faster, but who cares?
Contractor live has got a much different vibe on it than in the studio. And I go back and sometimes I'll listen to the studio track and just like it just feels wrong to me. It's just like it just says because we were using clicks in the studio for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, just if I could complain about that process and that record and that song, I feel like we could have adjusted some BPMs there, but now we playing live, we feel it. So it's just, you know.
I am shocked to hear that though, considering the production value you guys have now with like having to time out fire and all that stuff. Like you're just doing it live, like the lighting. Like I know the Meshuggah dude sits there with his fingers, like and types all the lights. Like
we have a guy named Rory.
Okay.
He works for Slayer, and that's where we met him. He's a great Canadian dude, and when he was working for Slayer, I had video of him playing the Fireboard, where it's like he's playing a keyboard. That's awesome. He's fucking fantastic. Yeah, I love Rory.
That's awesome, man. Well,
I love you from Fire.
Yeah, I mean, Fire. I mean, there. No matter. Look, I'm not gonna talk shit. Amon Amarth, they're great, but not my thing. You know, I'm not going around Viking it up. But when I saw them live, the Fire and the production, I was like, this is the greatest show I've ever seen. Even if I'm not into the music, it's like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the point, I guess.
Yeah. So just give a little something for everybody, because I'm sure there's some girlfriends in your shows that are just accompanying their boyfriends that aren't.
And there's probably some boyfriends accompanying their girlfriends, you misogynistic prick.
Oh, hey, I'll one up you. There may be some boyfriends accompanying their boyfriends, huh? And I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you go sit down and take a piss?
Oh, I do that often. It's more comfortable.
At my house, I do. There it is. At my house, I will.
It's just clean. Comfy. Yeah, I'm
lazy.
lazy.
Piss everywhere, you fucking filthy animals.
That's right. And I can also, I can send an email out if I have to. Like I don't have to.
Now you use both hands for typing, looking at pornography.
That's right.
Oh, no, fun.
Well, I'm sure somebody will figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know you're on the road and Super Bowl Sunday and all the things, and it's already been 40. Yeah, right. I'm so excited to watch sports ball.
Send my love to all the homies in LA.
Absolutely.
Thank you for taking the time to talk about little old me.
Of course, dude. People that are watching and listening, if you're not aware of Lamb of God by now, it's too late. Stop it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. There's plenty of other shit to get into.
But yes, please, if you haven't, check out Lamb of God. Huge tour already happening right now with Pantera. Huge tour coming with Mastodon, where you're playing your 20-year anniversary records of Leviathan and Ashes of the Wake together. I'm excited for that. I want to go to the LA show. That's another reason I want to get out of LA.
Yes.
I can't hit up my buddies like, hey, I want to come see your band, but it's LA and there's a million suits there. Yeah.
And just for the record, it is Kerry King, and then Malevolence from the UK are opening. Ooh. Except for on 3 shows, I think Unearth is opening.
Yes, I saw Unearth is on the list too. Yeah.
Yeah. So come on out to that bad boy. That's gonna be sick.
I'll definitely be at the LA show, 100%. And then there's also the Headbangers Boat, which is just so happens to be on my birthday.
Oh.
I might have to.
We'll celebrate and think of you fondly.
I might have to figure out how to get on that boat. I might have to figure it out. Talk to some people, see if I can do some comedy on there. What's up?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk. It's already booked.
All right.
And check out your phone. I texted you the secret.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
Let me see your face when you look.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I won't say anything. No way.
Yes, fucking way. And it's bad as shit. Next time we're hanging, I'll play it for you.
You guys need to figure out a way to put that out.
I know. And it's sick. It's fucking great.
That's amazing.
Thank you very much. To all you podcast listeners.
Follow your, do you want people to follow your personal page as well?
To be honest, I don't give a fuck. I'm terrible at social media, and I really don't like letting people know where I am all the time. But I post some interesting pictures every now and again, but it's nothing life changing.
Well, his personal one is JCRVA.
There you go, but it's
JAY.
Yeah. So it's my initials, JC, but spelled out JAYCEERVA. Get some.
Yeah, follow him. Follow Lamb of God. Pick up the omens and keep, be a part of it. Go to comment and like and all of those things.
Be a what? Be a
There
Be a
you
part
go.
of it. Pooter.com, not endorsed. They're great.
I'm going to go get one right now.
Right.
Dude, it's good seeing you. Good talking to you again. Hopefully we'll hang out soon. All
Power
right.
to the people.
See you, brother. Take care.
Oh, we.